I'm thinking that until reality appears well, we still think of it as something.
That's the way it is. That's why
Yes.
one learned to understand that in order to realize the truth, it's not easy at all. It's not very shortly or very soon, but it takes time to thinking about it and understand the difference between everything. Like it's only thinking, not yet the understanding of the nature of that which sees, which arises just to
Right.
see. That's why we learn to
Yeah.
understand each one now as it is, because if there is no discussing about seeing as it is, it doesn't bring any understanding about the nature which just arises to experience, no matter what. It is different from that which arises but cannot experience anything at all. And the idea of I, when there's nothing arise at all, not even thinking, there's nothing appearing, nothing at all. But as soon as something is there, who can condition that nature which is conditioned to arise and see now? That's why we begin to lose the whole world and know that only one reality is now appearing because it arises. Otherwise, when nothing arises, nothing can appear as something to think about it. So each moment, without that nature which arises to experience, there's no body, no moon, no sun, no idea about anything because of not experiencing anything at all. That's why we learn to understand life now as it is. It is the moment of seeing. But when there's no seeing, it's another moment of experiencing, no matter it's thought or smell or taste or whatever it is. There must be that which experiences, that which appears now, but no understanding of the nature of anything at all. Just arise to see and it condition the other moment that as we can think about now, the thinking about it, different from the seeing. That's why it takes time to consider what is heard and is there now, just to make it more acquaintance to to understand it as no one there at all. Otherwise, the idea of I follows anything now. I see, I think. But actually, if there is no such nature which arises and experiences it and then falls away instantly unknown, that's why we think about the wisdom which can directly experience the truth and become become enlightened or became enlightened depending on who we are talking about. See, but it's there to be known its nature as no one, no control at all. It is now sees, and then another moment it hears, and so on and on and on and on by conditions all the time. That's why we understand that wisdom is not ignorance at all. Ignorance cannot anything which is now appearing. And as the Buddha had enlightened the truth, he taught from his enlightenment about the truth of everything right now as no one, no thing. It appears and then gone completely. So what is true now, what is real now, is only that moment when it appears. At moment of seeing, there's no thinking because it experiences that which is seen right now. See, at moment of thinking, it does not see, but it thinks about that which is the object of thinking. See, by conditions all the time, from birth to death, not only in this life. Whenever such moment appears, it has a reason. So it can appear, even thinking. If thinking does not arise at all, how can they be thinking? This is unknown until the enlightenment of Buddha, who had developed parami, so many moments again and again and again, uncountable, to be so keen that there can be the understanding of the nature which now arises and experience an object. So life, what we take for I, exists only in a moment when such nature arises by conditions, falls away instantly, no more at all, never to arise again. And this is
It's
true that it can be directly experienced, but not by ignorance, no understanding of the truth right now, from the very beginning of hearing and considering little by little, and unexpectedly, it can develop to the moment of directly experiencing the arising and falling away. Otherwise, it's useless to listen to all these words about that which now appearing one by one at a time. So when we talk just about one reality, what is the truth? Nothing is that besides only that one, which is experience. And the experience is not that which is experienced, no matter what. Now, see, listen, and carefully study, wisely consider whether is this true, is now appears, who conditions its arising? No one. It's there already. So, and in order to understand the truth, it has to be that which has arisen. Otherwise, where is it? How can it be known? How can it be studied? So now, from hearing the teachings, it begins to develop to be pariyatti, very keen and skillful understanding that which appears from the words of the Buddha. And from his words, one realizes it's not the moment of directly understanding that which now appearing, which before that ignorance is there. But instead of ignorance, the understanding begins to develop little by little. So it's quite a long, long way without parami, all kinds of kusla. For the moment which is a kusla cannot arise because it's kusla until it develop among ignorance and akusala dhamma. Even at this moment of seeing, who knows? After seeing arises and falls away, 3 moments after that, there is akusala, not understanding that, but listen again and again, each word, not underestimating the truth of it, that it can be known, but not now, but by understanding, begin to develop by conditions, without hearing, studying, carefully thinking, reflecting on it. It's impossible. It's gone all the time, unknown all the time. In samsara, not only in this life, as long as there are conditions for anything to arise, it has to be there now. It depends on whether who knows it, who understand the impermanence of it, just is there only very shortly and then gone. So one can understand. We use the word one as long as there's no understanding it. What reality is there? Citta, Ajita, are many kinds. As long as there's no understanding, little by little, because it, the ignorance, the understanding is there from life to life to hinder the truth of it. That's why no matter one thing that one see clearly, but actually, as long as panya does not begin to study, to experience the truth, it cannot appear as it is, as that which is arisen, that which has conditions to arise and then fall away, even right now, very, very rapidly. That's why the not understanding of anything covers the whole life, not to understand anything at all, until listening to the word about it, to begin to study, begin to understand, even that is not direct understanding of that yet. Why? So many things around. How can it appear as it is as only one object? which is there, experienced, nothing there at all. So now hearing about it and begin to understand it among everything which arises and falls away all the time. That's why it does not appear as clear as well as when it appears to Panya, which begins to study and understand it from moment to moment of direct awareness. So intellectual understanding will lead to direct awareness, which is the most valuable moment because it is understanding, not ignorance anymore. Little by little until all in life appear as they are, no one there. And this is the first noble truth. So much to follow, not just only the first one. See how long it takes, but right now is the beginning of each move to it, little by little, very slowly, because of ignorance so much accumulated. And this is the use, the benefit of listening, of whatever appears now, to understand it a little bit more until it appears well, little by little, not as vipassana, which the word means experience with right understanding as it is. As it is. See, this is not yet as it is. So it's not clear. Just like living in darkness all the time, not understanding what's what, just move on by conditions from moment to moment. But when there is light, it can be the moment of beginning to understand what's there, little by little. But so many things in life are known until Panya is there. Of each now as it appears.
So when